Hey YouTube, it's Alicia Burton, and I have a WWE video. So before I start the video, let me turn you this way. Before I start the video, let me remind you on WWEshop.com, they have for tonight only, you can get 50% off of your WWE purchase. And the code for tonight is Cyber. And this is just my personal opinion. I just want to give you a personal code just in case you are buying one of your loved ones something from WWE.com shop. So let's get started. So we have a lot to go through. So let's get started. So tonight, when Raw came on, we had Roman Reigns coming out and dressing the WWE Universe. You know, Roman Reigns and John Cena has that same kind of caliber. They get good reception by the crowd, but then you get those few boos. And then Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel come out. I'm gonna give y'all my little thing about the neck race around Curtis Axel. And they said they were so disappointed. So it was something we didn't see last week. Seeing Miz running his mouth. And what happened? Miz ran his mouth. And he got power bumped. So if you haven't heard, Miz is not on the show at the moment because he's going to film another Marine movie. That's all I'm going to say about it because I'm not going to talk too much about him. So then, all of a sudden, the Miztourage hooks up with Elias. Elias saying, Miz didn't deserve that, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I accept your open challenge. So Elias is a pretty good wrestler, but I'm going to give y'all my opinion about him in a minute. So Roman Reigns, so you want a chance at this title belt? So it came down after that commercial break, and Kurt Angle booked it. So we're going to get to that in a minute. So it was Roman Reigns, Shield member, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. Dean Ambrose left for the week because him and his wife Renee Young are on a honeymoon, and Sheamus is out in Ireland doing something in Ireland. And so Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. So let me just remind y'all, Dean Ambrose last week beat Sheamus. That's one. And won. So Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, it was a good match. They went back and forth, but Seth Rollins ended up winning at the end. And so it was, I think it's the Mackenzie, I think that's her name. And Mackenzie comes to Seth Rollins and said, Seth Rollins, what y'all, so you won your match, what y'all gonna do next? He said, I'm gonna give Dean Ambrose a call, and I think we're gonna redeem our tag team clause. You know, they have that tag team clause that they could get a rematch for those title belts next week, and I'm gonna tell them, at the end I will tell you. So then you had Titus O'Neil versus Samoa Joe. Y'all know that wasn't a fair match. So it was a pretty, Titus O'Neil gave a good fight. And, but Samoa Joe ended up winning at the end. So Apollo Crews was coming to the aid of Titus O'Neil to see how he was doing. And Samoa Joe got a hold to, of Cruz's shoulder, and they was face to face. And so Samoa Joe tried to swing, he missed, but Apollo Crews tried to kick, but he missed, but he ended up getting into that a cleaner clutch, I think that's what you call it. But so then let me tell you about the women's match tonight. Paige I'm not, just put a bad taste in my mouth. Let me just put that. Paige, Mandy Rose, and Duvall. Can't think of the first name. Sonya Duvall. There we go. Sonya Duvall. They just put a bad taste in my mouth. So it was supposed to be Mickie James, Sasha Banks, and Bayley versus Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Duvall. Well, what happened was the match never happened because before, as Sasha came out, I think they attacked they attacked Mickie James, attacking Mickey's ankle, and Mickey's ankles got hurt, and then attacked Bayley with her shoulder. Now, and it left just Sasha, and so Paige saying, Sasha, oh, I'm gonna have a lot to say about Paige, but I'm gonna do it at the end of this. So, Paige now like surrounded Sasha, and they said, "Oh, join us," and she goes, "No," and they decided to jump her. Before they jumped her, Paige said, "If it wasn't for me, the women, the word diva would have not stopped calling y'all divas and everything." And I'm going, hold up, Paige. You are not the only one because of it. Let's just get that straight. She is not the only one. The reason why they stopped calling the women divas. So let's go back. When Trish Stratus and Lita used to wrestle, at one point in time, they was called women wrestlers, but they kind of still loosely called them divas. Then they most left. Then here's Layla, Kelly, the Bella Twins. That's when the word diva was used more. And then once that part of it came, I left. And as Brie Bella was fin to leave, that's when the Diva Revolution started. And that's when they made the announcement on Total Divas. Go back, I think last season, you will see them say, "Oh, we won't be no longer calling y'all divas. We'll be calling y'all women wrestlers." And so that was empowerment. But that would have not happened, because of Paige. I'm not doubting Paige, but Paige, you're not the first one to do that. That goes to mostly to two people. Yeah, you is one, and then AJ Lee. So that was that. Then you have Bray Wyatt. He doing his addressing the WWE universe with his usual way. But then he ended up having a match with Matt Hardy and Wade Bear. It was a good match, but Bray Wyatt ended up winning. So after the match, Matt Hardy's in the corner, and Michael Cole said, "This is his way of a meltdown," and all of a sudden, you hear Matt Hardy say, "Delete, delete, delete, delete." So it looks like Matt Hardy can now start merging and going and start using the broken Matt Hardy gimmick. So this is going to have something with Jeff Hardy come back as brother Nero. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah. Now, we had a fatal 4-way match. I'm going to try to speed this up as much as I can. A fatal 4-way match with Daivari, that's on Cruiserweight, Dunbar, Rich Swann, and Kanazawa. I hope I pronounced his name right. This match was hell of a good, but Rich Swann won. So now we're going to have to see the other 4-way match next week. So we're going to have to see who all is in that. Then we had Roman Reigns versus Elias. And that was a good match. That match, move for move. But Roman Reigns, because it was for the Intercontinental title, but Roman Reigns excuse me, kept the title belt. So that was good. But Samoa Joe actually attacked him. I mean, you saw a look that we haven't seen before from Roman Reigns in a long time. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happened to that. So then we have, this is a good one. Jason Jordan versus Kane. Jason Jordan Jason Jordan. Wait, before we do that, because Jason Jordan versus Kane, and Jason Jordan now, he was going good, and he got thrown out the ring, and he hurt his knee, and I just felt like he probably wasn't that, he was 100%, but he probably re-injured the knee some kind of way. Due to it and everything, he couldn't get back in the ring in time. That's when it was a count out. Kane won due to a count out. So that was that. Well, then Finn Balor came out. And I'll finish came, and it was Finn Balor ended up winning by disqualification. I'll get to that in a minute. Before I do, I want to get to this win Asuka did. Asuka versus Dana Brooks. And y'all, if I did not see this, this is going to be hilarious. Dana Brooks kind of trying to say, oh, Asuka has a flaw in her wrestling skill. So she tried to go for Asuka. Asuka took her down in 1 minute. And y'all, not 1 minute, in 2 seconds, Dana was tapping. Y'all, it was just hilarious. It was just hilarious. Then we have Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville getting on around the ring while Asuka's in there. And Asuka knew what to do. She was standing her ground. But what she did was she eased out, but she did not turn her back towards him. She walked backwards. Now, the disqualification between Finn Balor versus Kane, I thought it was a real good match, but Braun Strowman came back, and Braun Strowman came with vengeance and everything. I got a couple of things. Let me talk about a couple of things. Well, one of the things I want to talk about, when Bo Dallas and them are at that ring with somebody else, I really wish WWE start banning them from ringside. That's just something that needs to happen. I don't think WWE needs to be pushing Elias, because to me, Elias is not deserving of a title belt. Elias hasn't earned a lot of opportunities, but why would you just hand him a title opportunity? Okay, I'm going to get back to that. When it comes to this is what I feel next week that needs to happen. It needs to be Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Dana Brooks, Alicia Fox, and a huge WWE big female name that has been in the WWE returns and helps the women wrestlers to take on Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. That's that. But now, let me get to this right quick. When it comes to Braun Strowman and Kane, they need to have a WWE monster match between Kane and Braun Strowman. And before I forget, like I told y'all, next week it will be a tag team championship match. It will be Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro and Sheamus. And we have 2 questions. One, the first question is, do you want to see the Encore Championship return back to the WWE, Raw or SmackDown? That's the first question. The second question is, do you want to see a women's U.S. title belt in the Divas division? Those are the 2 questions. Y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and